If you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn education. You feel me, them? I'm Quindell Evans, and this is the Blue Poet Tree podcast. 30 words. The word blue, the word poet, the word tree. BluePoetTree.com is where you can find me. And on the Blue Poetry podcast, we discuss the habits that it takes to create a successful life, as well as the habits that it takes to break through a stressful life. You feel me, them? In today's podcast, we're going to be talking about the importance of being grateful, gratitude. On today's podcast, we're going to talk about gratitude, being grateful. You feel me, them? Before we go there, we're going to start off with The Pledge by Abiodun Oyewole, the founder and creator of The Last Poets. The Pledge. I want to be what I can be, to be proud, healthy and free. I want to say what I know, to help my brothers and sisters grow. I want to feel good about me and blame no one for my misery, 'cause I'll be strong and turn it around. I want to go up, I'm not going down. I want to do what I can do to make all my dreams come true. Remember my past, the good and bad, how I made it art even when it was sad. I want to share whatever my gift, and when you're feeling low, I give you a lift. I want to live without fear and know that I'm blessed for being here. Just know that you're blessed for being here. Just know that we're blessed for being here. I want to be what I can be, to be proud, healthy and free. I want to say what I know to help my brothers and sisters grow. I want to feel good about me and blame no one for my misery, 'cause I'll be strong and turn it around. I want to go up, I'm not going down. I want to do what I can do to make all my dreams come true. Remember my past, the good and bad, how I made it art even when it was sad. I want to share whatever my gift, and when you're feeling low, give you a lift. I want to live without fear and know that I'm blessed for being here. Know that you're blessed for being here. Know that we're blessed for being here. Just know that we're blessed. Alright? So that is The Pledge. And today's affirmation about organization goes like this. Excuse me. That was yesterday's affirmation. Today's affirmation about being grateful, gratitude. Speaking of gratitude, that was the name of Abiodun's last album, Gratitude. But yeah, today's affirmation about gratitude goes like this. I am grateful for everything, knowing that what I have earned. I only do what I know, so the more I want, the more I learn. One more time. I'm grateful for everything, knowing that what I have earned. I only do what I know, so the more I want, the more I learn. Gratitude. I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for everything, knowing that what I have I've earned. Gratitude. I'm grateful for everything that I have. I'm grateful for everything that I want too. But what I want to say is there's a difference between what you earn and what is given to you. The same way there's a difference between what you learn and what is given to you. You know how they say, I'd rather teach a man to fish than give him some fish, because that way he'll always know how to get fish and not have to depend on me for fish. In one instance, someone is earning something. They're earning the fish that they're fishing for. Also, they're learning how to fish while they're earning fish. And they're learning how to fish by being taught how to fish from the person who has the option, the choice, whether to give them or teach them. So, there's a difference between what you earn and what is given to you. Just like there's a difference between what you learn and what is given to you. Because learning is earning. You have to earn knowledge. We could talk all day. You could listen to somebody lecture. You could listen to me right now, but you might not learn unless you put forth that effort to earn the information. And that is being open to it. That's being open to learning it. We can close it. We could just listen just to listen. Like, we could be in class and I'm just ready to go. I'm just listening. Once the bell rings, I'm out of here. We haven't learned anything. We just listened. We just heard. But we ain't learned nothing. You could hear about what's going on in the world and hear about the news and hear about the current events and the issues that's going on in the world and the good things going around the world, and they're doing new things in this part of the world. And there's war over here. You could hear about all of that, but you haven't learned about it. You don't know the details. You don't know the actuality of it. You don't know the reality of it. It's just word of mouth. You haven't researched it for yourself. When you decide to open your mind to study it, to actually listen to it and not just hear it, to actually take it in and not just listen to it, that's when you earn it. So learning is earning. And earning is learning. Because when you earn something, you're learning, you're teaching yourself how to do it. We speak about the habits that it takes to create a successful life here. And the habits that it takes to overcome a stressful life. So the act of earning is teaching you something. The act of earning is learning how to earn, learning how to always be in a learning position. So learning is earning and learning is earning, but there's a difference between things that you earn and things that are given to you, things that you learn and things that are given to you. Somehow we are more grateful for the things that we learn. We're more grateful for the things that we earn, and that is because sometimes things that are given to us, we're not grateful for because we haven't earned it. We haven't learned it. It's just like, it's like the example of if someone wins the lottery, they win $10 million, they hit the jackpot, and they spend the money very quickly because they haven't earned it. But if you earned $1 million, you care for it differently. They say the average person, who lives to be a senior citizen, earned over $1 million, in wages. They accumulated over $1 million over that time. The thing is though, if you were to save, and budget and actually, allocate your money in a way that you would, by the time you were a senior citizen, have $1 million. Like I'm saving it, whether you invested it, whether you just saved straight up, you did, you had passive income, whether you, did, I don't know, compound interest, whatever you did, you had to open a mutual fund, whatever. If you was to actually see your account grow from nothing to $1,000, and then from $1,000 to $4,000, and then from $4,000 to $10,000, and then from $10,000 to $20,000, and from $20,000 to $70,000, and whatever. When you see the growth in your account and it hits $1 million, you think about, oh my gosh, like I remember having 100,000. I remember having 40,000. I remember having, 20,000. I remember seeing this grow. I remember seeing my child when they were crawling. I remember seeing when they couldn't crawl because their knees weren't strong enough. I remember seeing when their back wasn't strong enough. Whatever. I remember seeing the growth. When you remember the growth, when you remember the steps, when you remember the process, you're more grateful for where you at right now. So you the way you go about spending $1 million, if you remember the growth, is different compared to you just literally had a few $100 in the bank, play the lottery ticket. The next, I don't know how long, whatever, I don't know how long it takes for you to get the money. Maybe you get it in a few weeks, a month, whenever. But in that time, you know what I'm saying? Like, you went from a few hundred, and then the next day you have $1 million in your account. You know, I'm not talking about taxes or, you know, whatever, however many million. You just go from a few hundred or a few thousand to a million or a few million in your account. You didn't see the steps. You didn't. You saw one giant step. You saw one leap. You saw one giant leap, and that right there somehow leaves a void of gratefulness, a void of gratitude out of the, you know, it leaves a void there. It leaves gratefulness and gratitude out of the picture for some reason. We are less grateful when there's a giant leap. So when we're giving when something is given to us, that's kind of that giant leap being created, that void being created, which leaves gratitude and grateful, and, you know, being grateful out in a way. Not all the time. Of course, there's times where there's people who hit the lottery and they saved and they will never poor again. But the majority of people who hit the lottery are back in the same position. I know people who won big and they're still on the block. You know, like they're still, you know what I'm saying? Like it's years, we forgot. Like people forgot. Like they forgot. Like they ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like they ain't changed. You know, but most of us would imagine that $1 million would change our lives, would dramatically change our lives. We move here, and we're start investing, and but if that void is built, that gratitude, if gratitude and being grateful has been left out, which a lot of times it does when we're being given something, or we haven't earned something, or we haven't learned how to create that thing, we're back in the same position. So someone who is a lottery haven't learned how to make $1 million, haven't learned how to make a few, you know, like we haven't learned it. So learning is earning, and earning is learning. And when we learn, we're grateful because we know what it takes now, you know. So I'm grateful for everything that I have because I've earned everything that I have, you know. And even the things that were given to me, you know, I like to learn from the person who's giving. You feel me? I like to learn I like to learn from being given because I want to be the giver one day. And if I want to be the giver, the more I want, the more I learn. If I want to be the giver, then I have to learn from the giver. If I want to be the giver, I have to learn how to be the giver. If I want to be the giver, I have to earn the right to be the giver. I have to be grateful for the giver. You know, a lot of times we're not grateful for the giver. When we're being given something, we're not grateful for the giver. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just we just take it with a grain of salt. We don't take it with the I don't we just take things sometimes from people when we're being given something without gratitude. And I think it's because of the habit of just feeling entitled, like we're supposed to be, you know, with people supposed to give to us everywhere we go, you know. Like I think a lot of us have that entitlement, like things are supposed to be given to us. And that's probably has a lot to do with being less grateful than, you know, because there was a time where, you know, there's something happened with me one time with someone in my family, and they, you know, knew I was getting paid, and they're like asking me for money. They saw me, you know, like it was a. I'll just say it how it is. There was a time I had a book signing last year when I did the mouth book, Messages of Uplift the Hill, and a few of my family members came to the book signing, and I sold a good amount of books, you know, at the book signing, and you know, so I made a few $100s that night, and the next day my sister asked me for $100, and immediately though. Like the funny thing is, I woke up the next day and I immediately invested in more books. Like I went and ordered more books, so I spent most of the money to get more books, to sell some more. So I didn't have the money to give anyway. If I was to give it $100, I would be putting myself in a bad position. I wouldn't be financially secure if I would have given her the $100. You know, I think she asked for like 150 or something like that. Like she asked for a certain amount of money, which is above $100, but I didn't have to give it to her. But she knew that I made money, and when I said no, she thought I was being stingy and you know and stuff like that. Like, oh, if I got it, I give, and all this type of stuff. It was just a negative confrontation. But I played it like, I just don't have it. If I had it, I would give it. But in her mind, it was like, you do have it. I saw you earn money yesterday. I saw you earn a lot of money. I was there as a book signing. You know, I even bought a book, and it was just like, and I'm like, it was like, I gave you a discount. I didn't even let you pay the whole price, which, it's like, it's whatever. But the whole point was, we get to a point where when, like we expect people to give to us, because we know that they got it, and we're not earning it. We're not learning how to earn, and we even feel a way when we're not being given something. And I think that is a habit. That is a state of mind that we're in that doesn't allow us to grow. It stunts our growth. When we're not learning, we're not growing, or we're always learning, but sometimes we're learning habits that aren't good for our positive growth. That aren't teaching us things that we need to grow positively. Sometimes things are detrimental to our growth. You know, so yeah, that's an instance where we're expecting things to just be given to us, and when things are not given to us, we kind of are taken aback and we're negatively affected, but it's because we didn't learn that we have to earn. We didn't learn how to be grateful for earning yet, you know? And it's okay to share. It's okay to give. It's okay to be given to. But we need to learn how to earn too. We need to be grateful for the opportunity, the process that it takes to learn, because that's going to take us more further than just always being given to, you know? So I'm even more grateful for when someone is giving something to me, because I want to be the giver. I want to be the giver. I want to always be able to give. So I want to learn how to be the giver. You feel me? So the more I want, the more I learn, you know? And because I know that I must earn it, then I know that must earn to give more. If I know that I know that if I know that I must I know that if I want to be the giver, I must earn. So I know that I must earn to give more. You feel me? Like if I want something, I know that there's learning that needs to be done. And a lot of us, get to a certain point in the process of going after what we want, and we hit a point where we have to learn something new, and we're like, I don't know how to do that, I quit. So that might be another reason why we're not grateful. We're not grateful for the process. We're not grateful for learning. If you're not grateful to learn, then when there's things that we have to learn in order to move forward and what we want, then we're going to be negatively affected, because we're not grateful for learning. Grateful for learning, we'll always be in a position to learn more. If we're not grateful for learning, then we're going to look at learning as something that's not, I don't need that. And sometimes sometimes you don't know something and you don't even want to learn it. At least be in a position to be able to give to someone. Be able to give. If I can't learn something, that means it's something I need to give. And what I mean by that is, give to someone who knows what I want to learn, so that they can learn, they can help me. For example, if I have a business and I don't know how to do payroll. I'm going to pay someone to be the payroll manager and do the payroll. Or learn how to be the payroll manager. If I don't want to learn it, pay someone to do it. Now I'm giving to someone. You know, either way, we're earning. I'm earning. You know, I'm earning payroll. I'm earning payroll. Like I'm earning payroll because I'm giving someone something to do payroll for me. Either way, we're earning. So it's very important to just be grateful for learning. You feel me? Because if you it's you have to, in order to give, you got to know how to. You know, a lot of us don't even know how to give. A lot of us don't even know how to receive. We're not grateful for giving, and we're not grateful for receiving. Because when we receive, we're not grateful, and we think that we're supposed to be giving all the time. And when we give, we feel drained. Like, oh, I'm doing this, and I really wanted to do this with the money, and then I don't have it, and I just feel like, and I know a lot of people in this situation where they feel like they're the breadwinner of their family and always giving, and they're drained, and they feel like they're looking out for people who never is going to be able to look out for themselves, and then they're drained, and they feel like they're wasting their time, and maybe they should just focus on themselves. And it's like, I feel like the reason we feel that way is because we have the perspective. We're not grateful for our position in giving, and we're not putting ourselves in a position to always be giving. You know, we got to learn how to give. You know, I wouldn't want to just be draining myself and giving until I have nothing. You know, but I wouldn't want to hold back giving because I'm afraid of giving until I'm drained. So I have to learn how to always be in a position to give, always have something to give, always have enough to give. You feel me? So that takes being grateful. You know, you have to be grateful to give in order to learn how to put yourself in a position to always be able to give, you know. I feel like personally, there's only one secret, one shortcut, one cheat code to success. And that cheat code is being grateful. It is gratitude, you know. And I feel that way is because when we're grateful, when we have gratitude when we're grateful for what we have, when we have gratitude for what we have, we automatically earn more. Simple. If I'm grateful for having $10, having it, not grateful for spending $10. I'm grateful for having, or maybe you are grateful for spending $10. I'm grateful for having or spending $10. If I'm grateful for spending $10, I'm going to spend it generally in a way that's going to allow me to earn more. If I'm grateful for having $10, I'm going to save some so that I can always have $10. You know, maybe that's how things should be in my mind, but I feel like being grateful allows us to care more about what we have. So if you care more about your money, then you're going to find ways to keep it. You know, so that is the secret. That is the shortcut. That is the cheat code. Being grateful for something. You know, being grateful for what you have, and then more just begins to come. It's like, you know, it's the cheat code, you know, so that is the secret. It's like being grateful for what you're going through. If you're grateful for what you're going through, then you're going to learn from it. But if you're playing victim to what you're going through, you're not going to learn from it. You're going to feel beaten up by it. You're going to feel drained by it. But if you learn from it, you'll learn how to deal with it. You'll learn how to overcome it. You'll learn how to break through it when you put the gratitude first, you feel me? So everyone goes through obstacles. Everyone goes through challenges. Everyone is faced with something, you know, that is hard, you know. Everyone goes through hard times. But how many of us learn from them? How many of us go through something, and how many of us grow through something? You know, so it's okay to go through whatever. But are we growing from it, or are we playing victim to it? You know, so how many of us are learning how to not be defeated by the challenge the next time we're faced with the same challenge? And how many of us is being defeated over and over and over again? How many of us are playing victim and we're like, I'm not ready for this. I can't do this. I can't. I don't know what to do. And I just. How many? I just want to give up. How many of us are feeling defeated by challenges and issues, and how many of us are ready and willing and able? All of us are able. If you're going through it, you're able to you know, to beat it. If you're going through it, you're able to grow through it. All of us. If you're going through something, you're able to grow through something. You're able to learn something from it. You're able to take something from it. If you're going through something, you're able to grow through something. But how many of us are? How many of us are growing? How many of us are growing, or how many of us are going? We're all gonna go, but how many of us are growing? Like they say, we're all gonna die, but how many of us are living? We'll all have life, but how many of us are actually living? We all are existing, but how many of us are living? We all are here, but how many of us are grateful for being here? How many of us really don't want to be here? There's so many people who don't want to be here, and because we're not grateful. That's how I feel. I feel like we're not grateful, so we're not taking what we need from it or getting what we want out of it because we're not grateful. It's okay to fight the same battle over and over, but how many of us are winning? How many of us are winning, and how many of us are losing? How many of us are being victorious, and how many of us are being victims? You feel me? So if we're winning, it's because we're learning. Simple as that. That's how I feel. If we're winning, it's because we're learning. If we're winning, it's because we're learning. Simple as that. Kobe, I was just listening to like a Kobe interview or something, and he was saying how when he lost in the finals, he was eager to get back to the finals next year. See, he doesn't even know if he's going to get back to the finals. But in his mind, he learned from his loss. In his mind, he is ready to win again. He's not playing victim. He's not saying, I don't deserve to make it to the finals again next year because I lost this year. Or maybe, it's just I learned. If I got to the finals, that means I can do it again. I'm learning from my loss. I'm eager to get back to the battle. I'm not saying I don't want to be there because Kobe's not saying I don't want to go to the finals again. I don't want to lose again. I don't want to, I told my friend, I want to be a millionaire. You feel me? Like I want to be a millionaire. You see, it says future millionaire on my shirt. Like I want to be a millionaire. He's like, oh, do you think you're gonna be happy? Like some people have so many money and they're not happy. And I'm just like, stop it, because we have this idea of that the having so much on our plate makes us sad. Of course, a millionaire has more things to do, things to deal with, and more, more money, more problems is like the quote, which is like, even if that's true, it's not like people who broke, people who ain't got no money, people who is poor ain't got no problems. That's a problem if you're broke and you're poor. So I'm not sure if more money, more problems is true, but if it is true, I think people who have, who are wealthy and have more money have different problems, which is they probably enjoy or grateful for these problems of having more money than, poor problems. Poor problems and rich problems are different. So if more money, more problems, I'd rather have more problems, if that's the case, because I'm ready for the problems. I'm prepared for the problems. I want to be prepared mentally. I am prepared to deal with the problems of more money. So yes, I'm going to be happy as a millionaire. Yes, I'm claiming it because I know I am. If I can be happy poor, then why can't I be happy rich? If I can be happy broke, why can't I be happy fixed? If I can be happy struggling, why can't I be happy when the struggle is over? So the person who was telling me that was going through something, and regardless if they're happy or not, if you can be happy going through what you're going through, can I be happy growing through what I'm growing through? You feel me? So Kobe ain't say, oh, I don't want to go back to the finals because I lost and I don't got time to be doing that again. Like I don't want to have to go into another relationship because all guys or all girls are cheaters and all they're gonna do is hurt me and I got hurt before, I don't got time to be hurt again and I don't trust. It's like I messed, you know what I'm saying? I had a bad relationship or I had a messed up relationship or I had a troubling relationship or I had a relationship that just I didn't want to be in. I'm not gonna just stop being in relationships now. No, I'm ready to try again. I'm ready to win the next time. I'm not gonna lose every time. Like I'm not. So we have to understand that that is what being grateful to even be in a relationship, to even have money, to even struggle is empowering. Being grateful for everything is empowering. It's allowing us to realize how much power we have, the power we have to grow, the power we have to learn. And learning and growing is powers. These are successful habits to always be willing to learn. You feel me? So we got to be able to win. We got to be able to win, and we are always able to win as long as we're always willing to learn from our losses. So I feel like we're losing because we're not being grateful. And we're playing victim. And we don't see why we're being challenged. And we're winning when we are being grateful. We're learning from our losses and we see why we're being challenged. Oh, I could have done this. I could have passed more. I could have, Kobe Bryant, I could have passed more. I could have shot more. I could have took more risk. Whatever it is, it's like I'm going to try everything because if I don't, then I'll live later and be like, I didn't try everything. I didn't do my best. I didn't put my best foot forward. So when we are grateful and learning, we're learning that we can do more and we can put our best foot forward. If we're playing victim, we're leaving effort out. We're not trying hard enough when we're playing victim. Because most times you play victim in a relationship, like, oh, this relationship is not making me happy and it's draining me and stuff like that, then we're doing less. And we're like, I'm holding back because my partner is the way he is. Or my partner is the way she is. It's like we need to have a winning mind state, even when we're losing. We need to have a winning mind state, even when we're losing. We need to have a grateful mind state, even when we're struggling. We need to always be up for the challenge. The challenge could be anything. It could be losing against the clock because we don't feel like getting up this early for work, because we're not grateful for the wages we're earning. We're not grateful for be grateful. I don't like this job. I'm just ready to get off work, because we're not grateful for let's be grateful for having this job that allowed us to pay our bills and support our families and put food in our bellies. The more we're grateful, some people are grateful for getting up early because they get to get a head start on their day, and some people are drained with getting up early because it's like, I'm not a morning person. And it's like, if you're grateful for getting up early, you're more likely to get a head start on your day, to be more prepared. So let's be grateful. The challenge could be being healthy, and we're not grateful for healthy food. We're not grateful for, fasting. We're not grateful for I don't know, whatever it is. We're not grateful for exercising. We're playing victim for healthy food, and it's like, oh, that's tough taste, Nancy. We're playing victim to fasting. Like, how can I go a day without eating? I need to eat. We're playing victim for exercising, and it's like, I don't, I get tired fast, and it's just, I gotta pay for a gym membership or whatever it is. We play victim or we're playing victim. We're out for the challenge or we're not. So whether it's saving money, we're playing victim, and it's like, well, I want to spend, I want to treat myself, or just, how can I save if I got all these bills? And it's like, be grateful. Sometimes most of us are spending more than we're earning. But if we were grateful for saving, we would save. If we were grateful for just having a little, we won't need a lot. And that would cut some of our expenses out, and we'll be able to save more. We'll be able to invest. We'll be able to do some of the crazy ideas that we think of. A lot of us, you can talk to anybody, and everybody would tell you a get-rich idea. But we're not in a position to do it because we weren't really grateful. We don't have gratitude. We don't really even believe in ourselves, and we're believing ourselves more when we're grateful for ourselves. We're grateful for our lives. We're grateful for the people in our lives. We're grateful for the situations in our lives. So regardless of the challenge, regardless of the obstacle, regardless of the setback, regardless of what we're going through, when we put learning first, when we put gratitude first, we're going to grow through it. And that's it. If you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. You feel me then? Let's go. I'm Quindell Evans, BluePoetTree.com, Blue Poetry Podcast. First of all, I love you. And I love me. So we got to share this love. I appreciate you for listening. You know, I really want to thank everybody who's listening to the Blue Poetry Podcast, because it is growing and I'm watching it grow, and I'm appreciating that we're getting more listeners, we're getting more average plays, and I appreciate the feedback I've been getting too from the people who be letting me know, like hitting the link that says, let me know how you feel about this podcast and give me feedback. And I appreciate the people who's really listening and letting me know that it's helping them and it's opening their minds to things, and it's just keeping them in a certain mind frame or whatever it is. Like, however it's making you feel, I appreciate the people who are listening, and it's making me really excited to watch the podcast grow, so much love to everybody out there. Continue growing, continue learning, continue being grateful. Let's go.